8 persons A, B, C, D, E, F and G and H are sitting in a straight line from east to west. Some are facing north direction and some are facing south direction. Then certain values are given to us and we have to determine the seating arrangement. If I remember, this question was asked in 2013 PO examination. And these types of questions are being repeatedly asked. So let us try to solve this question and try to understand how we can solve such questions. First of all, I suggest the two-pass approach, in which you make a number of passes. For example, in the first pass, you will read each of the statements and find out what is given concretely. Mark that. In the second pass, revise that and keep doing that, and after some time we do get the solution. And the second thing is that you should not initially worry about the direction in which the people are sitting, whether they are sitting in the north direction or south direction. What you should try to read is as much of the concrete information as is possible. For example, we can find out the relative location. Let us see what I'm trying to say here. H sits to the third left of C and faces south. Okay, first of all, let us draw, at least we know that there are 8 people, so let us draw 8 blank spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. H sits to the third left of C and faces south. Concretely, it is given that H faces south and is to the third left of C. So this means one of these two is possible. This one or this is possible. This statement simply tells us that there are 2 persons between C and H. H sits to the third left. So it's basically, it could be this way or this way. There are 2 persons between them, and concretely he has given us. Now this is one thing is very concrete, that 2 persons are sitting between them. Then and faces south. H is facing south. So let us mark an arrow here to tell us that this is the direction for the H. Okay, next. F is sitting at the one of the extreme ends and is facing north. This is also given concretely, and this is, but he said he is sitting at one of the extreme ends. Now we don't know whether he is on this side or this side. So as a rough thing, let us mark F below this and a small arrow he is facing north. So F could be in either of these 2 places. So we have written it below the sitting arrangement. We'll revise it as we pass. B and G are facing in the same direction. Now we don't know which direction, and person sitting between them is facing opposite direction. So the only thing we right now have is that B and G are having somebody in between them. So that gives us, it is either B space G or G space B. So it is one of the things. We don't know anything about the directions concretely at this point. Okay, A is sitting third from left end and is facing south direction. Now this is very concrete. Third from left end and facing south. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So A is here, and let us mark its arrow down because this is what we know concretely. This is not known, so I have written it below. So whatever is known and confirmed will be written at the top of this. A is sitting adjacent to E and both are facing in opposite direction. So it means E is also not known where he is exactly. The only thing that is known is that he is either here or either here and is facing upwards. So this is what we have at right now. D is sitting to the immediate right of B and both are facing in the same direction. Okay, D is sitting to the immediate right of B. Now this means that D is either like this or like this, because right of B could be this also and this also. And similarly, if this is the case, then it is GDB or G underscore BD. So it is one of these four possibilities. Then he says C is facing in the north direction. Now this is something very interesting here. C is facing north direction, so we'll put a arrow upwards here and an arrow upwards here. We don't know which is correct, but we know that two spaces are there and the directions of C and H are known by this time. So we can move up and see what was said there. H sits to the third left of C. Third left of C means that this can't be, because this will make him to the right. So we'll cross it. So this is confirmed with us now. Next, A and D are not neighbors. Okay, we'll verify it later. Neighbors of H are facing in same direction, which is opposite to the direction of H. Now this means that H has two persons surrounding him. Neighbors of H are facing in the same direction, which is opposite to the direction of H. So here now, I'll mark 1 underscore here, that is the space, and I'll also mark direction here. This is up and this is up. He says neighbors of H are facing in the same direction, which is opposite to the direction of H. So it has two neighbors and both of them are facing upwards. E sits to the right of A. So here also I can mark now. Right of A would be this one. So this means this is not possible. So I'll cross it off and write E here and mark an arrow upwards. So this I'll cross it out because now this is finalized. So now basically we have to merge this chain and one of these four. These chains have to be merged now. Okay, let us now see the length of this chain is 5. So one thing is very clear, that there are 5 to the right of A and F can't be in this, because the length is so long that C is likely to be at one end. And moreover, a bigger space is required this side. If F occupies one space, then you can't fit these here. F has to be at an end. So I'll cut this off, move this F upwards as confirmed. So I'm reasoning it now that this is what should occur. So basically now I have 5 slots here and 5 here, and I have to fit one of these into this one. I'll just do a hit and trial here. So 5 here means I'll start testing with one of them. Let's test this one. If it is G followed by H, this space, then B, D, C. So if you can see, this space fits into G, this one. The underscore on this side hooks into H, and B, this vacant space, and the next space D and C to the right. I just picked this one, just a hit and trial. Let me mark the arrows also. So this should be facing upwards because of this. H should be facing downwards and B should be facing upwards. Nothing known about this one, and C should be facing upwards. Now let us assume that this piece will fit here. And now let us take to the second pass. H sits to the third left of C and faces south. This is C. H will be third left and will face south, so it is okay. F is sitting at the one of the extreme ends and is facing north. This one also fits okay, right? And in case something goes wrong, I'll just try to use the other one of these options. So far it is right. B and G are facing in same direction and person sitting between them is facing opposite direction. B and G, yeah, it's okay. G is upwards, B is upwards, and the person in between them is facing downwards. So it is okay. B and G are facing in the same direction and person sitting between them is facing opposite direction. So far it is also okay. A is sitting third from left end and is facing south direction. So it's okay, as we already saw. So third from left end and facing downwards. D is sitting to the immediate right of B. D is to the immediate right of B. B is facing upward, so right would be D. And both are facing in same direction. So, okay, direction of D was not known, so we can now fix the direction of D as this one. Because B and D are supposed to face in the same direction. C is facing in north, it's okay. A and D are not neighbors, so A is here and D is somewhere away. So this one fact is also correct, and neighbors of H are facing in same direction, which is opposite to the direction of H. So neighbors of H are G and B, and they are facing in same direction upwards, and they are opposite. E sits to the right of A. E sits to the right of A, yes, because A is facing downwards, so right would be towards this side. So this is the arrangement that is required in this case. I can just So this is how I have reasoned out based on these facts, and this is how we should solve such types of questions.